This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We begin on this Sunday with the weather. It's February, but felt more like May with temperatures in the mid-70s and people taking advantage at Forest Park. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush. After a chilly Saturday, the bi-state is seeing spring-like temperatures today. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank joins me now, and Gary says the weather is supposed to get even warmer as we get into the work week.
I know it doesn't feel like February, as you mentioned, out and about, even this morning. I think that's the big story for us, the way we start off so mild. That trend continues as we look at our sunset, not all that bad whatsoever. Hardly a cloud in the sky through most of the day. As you can see, those clouds mainly off to the south and east, but overall temperatures even at 5 o'clock are still in the 70s. Creve Coeur 70 degrees. You'll see this warmer air mass, some spots still in the 70s and 80s, and it's only going to get warmer as this continues to push off to the north and northeast. As it gets warmer, stays warmer overnight, and we finish warmer each afternoon. And while we did not reach a record, it's definitely a top 3 warm day for this date. This evening, temperatures won't drop all that much. In fact, I think we stay in the 50s for the most part overnight. The next few days near records, if not exceeding them. We are going to see a severe risk in portions of Tuesday, and I think it doesn't really impact most of your day, but there is a time frame that we're under a severe weather risk. Without a surprise, right? It's in the 80-degree range, and we're talking about a change as we briefly go back to the cold. What that means for us, outlining our severe potential and what it's like after the cold front passes through.
New information tonight about a car accident in Hamilton Heights. Police tell us a man was killed when a car struck him on Page Avenue. It happened a little after 3 a.m., and police say the man was sitting in the road when he was hit. They don't know his identity and wouldn't say why he was sitting in the road. The driver of the car did stay on scene, is cooperating with police. The intersection where this accident happened is one of the areas that has a history of deadly crashes. A safety and traffic project for that area is in the planning phase. Last night, a shooting in the Grove sent 2 people to the hospital. Police say a group got into the wrong car thinking it was theirs. This was on Swan Avenue, just steps from popular spots like Platypus and Urban Chestnut. That's when the driver who was in the car opened fire. A man and a woman were shot. The suspect fled the scene. Both victims are being treated at the hospital and are in critical condition. Our Laura Barcheski is gathering some new information for us, and we'll have that story tonight at 10. Time is ticking again for lawmakers to avoid a partial government shutdown. Both Republicans and Democrats have different priorities in mind as they debate a spending deal. And now, federal departments and agencies that will be impacted are already updating their shutdown plans in the event a funding deal is not passed. Jen Sullivan reports on what it will take to avoid a shutdown.
Time is running out for Congress to pass a spending bill and avoid a partial government shutdown. Lawmakers have until midnight Friday to pass a deal. One of the major issues under debate is $118 billion in aid for Ukraine. It's something many Democrats and Republicans are pushing for.
Not only the future of Ukraine is on the line, which is extremely important, but the larger battle against authoritarianism is on the line.
Ukraine will not fail under our watch. There's too much at stake here. This is not just about Ukraine. This is about freedom versus dictatorships. This is about truth versus propaganda.
This will be the 4th time since September that lawmakers have been up against a funding deadline. Lawmakers keep passing short-term stopgap deals. In January, they extended some funding for Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, and Housing and Urban Development through March 1st. Funding for the rest of the government expires March 8th. Many Republicans don't want to pass a spending plan until they see changes in immigration and border security.
You either secure the border or you get no money for the government.
But now some right-wing conservative Republicans want to halt border changes. Their critics are accusing them of not taking action to help their chances of winning the White House in November.
That is not good for America. They know that, and they are putting Trump and Trump's personal interests ahead of the good of our country.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
It is one of the biggest issues this election year, the U.S. border response. And right now, both Missouri and Illinois are reacting to the crisis at the border, but in very different ways. On this week's episode of The Record, Mark Maxwell looks into both states' response.
I would build a wall of steel, a wall as high as heaven, against the admission of a single one of those Southern Europeans who never thought the thoughts or spoke the language of a democracy in their lives.
Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, breaks down the differences on this week's episode of The Record. Tune in tonight at 11 after Sports Plus. As American Heart Month comes to a close, a St. Louis woman is opening up about her heart survival story. In her sit-down with 5 on Your Side's Travis Cummings, she says she wants her third chance at life to turn on the light bulb for others.
Friends, encouragement, my family.
You're looking at a walking miracle.
Never left my side.
Corvon White has given 3 decades to the beauty industry.
Had numerous hair shows, independent events.
The job she loves the most, though?
I have a beautiful daughter. Her name is Nia. She's the heartbeat of my life. A loving, wonderful husband.
But in February 2022, her family would have to see her take on her scariest challenge yet.
I had a shoulder pain. That was it. It was my shoulder. I walked around for 2 weeks. I had a massage. I had hot pack, cold pack.
When things didn't let up, White called up the doctor and ended up at the urgent care.
And they did do an EKG, and that's when they discovered that I was having a heart attack. So you can imagine the shock for me.
Even more shockingly, what happened next?
And they had to do an emergency double bypass.
The recovery was a hard one, and she had a leaky valve, sparking another intense surgery, more than 9 hours.
I did code blue, and they had to go back in again.
When you look at yourself in this state, what goes through your heart?
I can't believe I'm here. It's just the grace of God.
She basks in that grace every day.
I listen to my music. It's like now I'm looking at the sky, I'm looking at the trees, I'm looking at the flowers.
Different lifestyle changes too.
But yes, I could do it, but I could do it in moderation.
Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women, and nearly 45% of those 20 and over have some form of it. It's why White says to check your family history and listen to your body.
What are the warning signs? There's so much information at our fingertips.
She wants her walk to be a wake-up call.
I said, if God saved me not once, but twice, I need to share my story.
Travis Cummings, 5 on Your Side.
And to help other people like White, you can donate to the American Heart Association. Now until the end of February, your financial support will be doubled in honor of American Heart Month. Trouble for downtown businesses, the latest building to face financial hardship. Measles cases rising in some states. What doctors say you can do to keep your kids healthy.